Today we're talking about Roblox games that are actually scary. And I'm not talking like cheap little jump scare scary, I mean games that make you rethink why you even clicked play in the first place. Some of these are fun, some of these are nightmare fuel, and some of these honestly should come with a warning. So grab your snack, turn your brightness down, and let's get into it. First game we gotta talk about is The Mimic. If you've played this, you already know why it's number one. This game is literally a full-on horror movie trapped inside Roblox. Like, why is a kid's game scarier than Netflix horror? The Mimic is split into books, and each one is its own terrifying story. You spawn in, and instantly the vibe is off. Dark hallways, creepy music, lantern in your hand that doesn't even make you feel safe. Then boom, you're running from monsters that actually look like they crawled straight out of a nightmare. Players say the worst part isn't even the jump scares. It's the sound design, the random whispers, footsteps, doors creaking open by themselves. And the jumps? They're not cheap. They wait until you're so tense that when it happens, you actually scream. People on TikTok have said they had to mute the sound and play with friends because it was too much, and honestly, I get it. Alone in The Mimic? Couldn't be me. Next game on the list is Doors. Now, I know this one blew up because it's almost like a puzzle horror game, but don't let the cartoony Roblox vibe fool you. It's creepy. You start out in a hotel and the whole point is simple. Open doors, move forward, survive. Easy, right? Wrong. Every single door could be your last. There are monsters in this game that pop out in the most random ways. Rush, screech, seek, halt, and they all have different rules for how you survive them. Mess up once and it's game over. The scariest part is screech. Imagine opening a door, hearing a psst behind you, turning around, and then this monster's in your face. You literally jump out of your chair. People compare it to Five Nights at Freddy's, but worse because you're not standing still. You're actually moving around, and that makes you panic even more. Players also say the tension of waiting to see what's behind each door makes your chest hurt. Like you're walking and suddenly the lights flicker. Boom, monster's coming. The unpredictability makes this game legendary. Okay, Smile, if you've ever seen people warning you not to play this on TikTok, listen to them. At first glance, Smile looks simple. Black screen, eerie lighting, and a creepy Roblox face smiling at you. Doesn't sound that bad, right? But the longer you stay in the game, the weirder it gets. Players reported hearing distorted audio, weird laughing, and random chat messages popping up from players that weren't even in the server. Like, imagine being in an empty server and suddenly someone types, "I see you." Some even said their avatars would glitch, turning into smiley face clones that followed them around. There's this theory that Smile is kind of like a Roblox creepypasta, a game that isn't meant to be fun, just meant to freak you out and make you uninstall. People also claim it messes with your device. Like the game would lag out, your sound would distort, or your Roblox would freeze until you force close it. Basically, it's less fun horror and more, I feel like I just downloaded a virus. Now let's talk about Swan Location. And yes, it's just as weird as it sounds. This game pops up every once in a while in Roblox creepypasta circles. On the surface, it's just a broken, unfinished looking place, but players say if you stay long enough, things get strange. People have said the map feels empty, like you're walking around in an abandoned test server. But every now and then, you'll hear footsteps that don't match your own. And sometimes a white figure that people call the Swan appears in the distance. Here's the thing. Some TikTok users said after they left Swan Location, their Roblox acted up. One person even claimed their avatar got reset without them doing anything. Others said it sent them weird friend requests from accounts with random letters and numbers. Whether it's a glitch or someone purposely messing with the code, Swan Location is one of those games that gives you an off feeling, like you're not supposed to be there. Next is Piggy. And before anyone says, Piggy isn't scary, let me explain. Piggy started out as a fun survival horror game, kind of inspired by Peppa Pig mixed with Granny. You run around, solve puzzles, escape, and avoid Piggy. But for younger players, this game is straight nightmare fuel. You've got a giant pig with glowing eyes chasing you with a baseball bat. Add in creepy music, dark maps, and the fact that you're always being hunted. Yeah, it's not lighthearted at all. But here's where it gets weirder. Players have pointed out that Piggy's story goes way darker than expected. It's about an infection spreading, friends turning evil, and betrayal. It's not just ha-ha funny pig. It's literally a zombie apocalypse story disguised as Roblox. Some kids said Piggy gave them nightmares. Others said it got too emotional because the cutscenes are actually kind of sad. Imagine thinking you're playing a goofy pig game and then crying at 3 a.m. because a character you like just got infected. So yeah, Piggy might not be traditionally scary like the Mimic, but it's one of those games where the deeper you go, the more unsettling it gets. Okay, so if you've ever played The Apartment, you already know it's not your typical Roblox obby or roleplay. At first, it seems harmless. You spawn into this realistic-looking apartment building and you're told to go to the top floor. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. Every floor gets creepier the higher you go. Lights flicker, hallways stretch out longer than they should, and sometimes there's this static noise that makes you feel like you're being followed. People say if you stop and just listen, you'll hear faint breathing or footsteps behind you, and sometimes there's nothing there. But the wildest part? Some players reported getting kicked from the game once they reached certain floors, almost like the game didn't want them to keep going. So, while The Apartment doesn't have jump scares every second, it's that psychological horror that gets under your skin. Next up, Breaking Point. This game is legendary, but also chaotic. If you've never played, the idea is simple. Players sit around a table and someone gets eliminated each round. You either guess who the killer is, or you're the one doing the eliminating. But here's the thing. The community makes it way scarier than the game itself. Imagine sitting in a dark room with Roblox players who take it way too seriously. You're just chilling, waiting for your turn, and suddenly someone across the table types, "I'm coming for you." Then the lights go out, you hear the little elimination sound, and when it comes back, your Roblox bestie is gone. It's not just a game at that point. It feels personal, especially when the killer stares at you before making their choice. Like, bro, I thought we were teammates. Breaking Point is less horror and more social pressure horror. The paranoia, the betrayals, the random targeting, it turns into a stressful mess where you can't trust anyone. Next, you have 3008, aka the Roblox version of IKEA gone wrong. So the concept is hilarious and terrifying at the same time. You're stuck in an endless IKEA store, but the workers become hostile at night. Like these tall employees with blocky heads suddenly sprint at you the second the lights dim. Players build little bases out of couches, beds, and shelves to survive. It sounds goofy until you actually hear those employees chasing you. The sound of their footsteps slamming closer while you're scrambling to climb onto your janky furniture fort? Yeah, nightmare fuel. And sometimes, you're not even safe in your base. The employees glitch through or catch you when you're not paying attention. Plus, the game's emptiness, just endless aisles of furniture, makes it feel super unsettling. So 3008 is one of those games that sounds funny when you explain it, but when you play it at night with headphones, terrifying. Now repeat after me when I say, identity fraud is straight up nightmare fuel. At first, it looks like a normal maze game. You just walk around trying to find your way out, but then you realize you're not alone. There are monsters lurking in the hallways, each one scarier than the last. One of them literally disguises itself to look like other players. So imagine walking through this dark maze and you see what you think is another player coming towards you. You're like, oh cool, someone else is lost too. But then, boom, it's the imposter monster and you're done. The worst part is the sound design. Footsteps that echo too loud, strange noises that make you think something is right behind you. It's basically designed to stress you out. And if you play in first person with headphones, yeah, good luck sleeping after. Next up, Alone in a Dark House. This is one of Roblox's most well-known horror games, and for a good reason. You're basically a private investigator sneaking into this creepy house to figure out what happened in a murder case. Sounds simple, but the atmosphere is insane. Dark hallways, creaky doors, flickering lights. It's giving Roblox, but make it indie horror game. And while you're exploring, the story gets darker and darker. You find out there's some disturbing family secrets and things you probably didn't want to know. There are jump scares too. Like, I won't spoil it, but just know, opening random doors in this game is dangerous. You might think you're safe, but then something lunges at you. What's wild is that it doesn't feel like Roblox. It feels like a full-on horror title that just happens to be inside Roblox. Now let's talk about the game that people call the scariest Roblox game ever, Dead Silence. If you've ever played, you already know. If not, let me set the scene. You start off in a sewer, already creepy. It's dark, dripping water sounds everywhere, and you feel trapped. As you move through, the game tells the story of Mary Shaw, this creepy ventriloquist ghost with dolls. The jump scares are no joke. Shadows move, doors slam, whispers echo, and then bam! Something appears right in your face, and the pacing is brutal. Just when you let your guard down, it hits you with something terrifying. The part that freaks me out the most? The dolls. They're scattered around, and sometimes they just watch you, motionless, until they don't. Dead Silence is legendary for a reason. It's not just scary for Roblox, it's scary, period. And that's the thing about Roblox horror games. They look all blocky and harmless at first, but then they drag you into a full-on nightmare before you even realize what's happening. Some are creepy, some are straight up traumatizing, and some make you wonder why you even press play in the first place. But honestly, that's what makes them so addictive. Every jump scare, every weird glitch, every moment your heart races, it keeps us coming back for more. So, if you ever decide to play any of these games, just remember, you've been warned. Alright, that's all I've got for today. If you made it this far, drop an avocado in the comments so I know my real ones stayed through the chaos. Now go eat your guacamole, buy my avocados,